What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Talking Markets. My name is Trevor, and I'm here with Brian. Brian, how's it going?
Great, Trevor. Obviously, we're here in Q2 now, and everyone is
Yep.
wondering if we're going to continue on from our uh, recent milestones with Bitcoin going above 30K and Ethereum going above 2K for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah. Speaking of milestones, I saw this post on Twitter the other day. I find this to be very fascinating. So, 78% of Bitcoin supply is currently illiquid. So, I find this to be very interesting and possibly also a bullish sign that only 78% is illiquid and couldn't be traded. Um, Next, I also wanted to talk about this. Yellen says U.S. banks may tighten lending and negate need for more Fed rate hikes. So, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said banks are likely to become more cautious and may tighten lending further in the wake of recent bank failures, possibly negating the need for further Federal Reserve interest rate hikes. Now, this is also just Yellen. This isn't Papa Powell. So, what's to actually be seen with rate hikes is obviously going to go through Powell first. And this just seems to be Yellen's opinion. Um, Moving forward, for some bullish news, actually, is that the U.S. producer prices unexpectedly fall in March. So the producer price index for final demand dropped 0.5% last month. And yeah, this could be definitely bullish news, sign that, a sign that maybe inflation is possibly tapering down. And with that, also, another possible bullish news is that the U.S. jobless claims just got released. This was in April 13th, so last Thursday. And the amount was actually at 239,000, with the forecasted to be 232,000, with the previous at 228,000. So what's interesting is that this is, above the forecast for the first time in actually a while, and also, that could be a bullish sign, considering that Powell has previously stated that he wants to see this number actually incline until he can stop his rate hikes in the future. So, possibly bullish, especially for Wall Street, obviously. And then, lastly, I just wanted to mention this is that I find it to be really interesting that Ethereum has risen, 70 around 76%, since the beginning of this year. And, a lot of people were very bearish on Ethereum. They thought that, with the different upgrades, Chapella, etc., they thought that people were going to immediately be dumping their ETH, but it looks like a lot of people are, just continuing to buy. And yeah, it's just quite interesting to see. A lot of people, again, were quite bearish previously. So to see them switching, see the price increasing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Trevor. I think Ethereum has been quite a story, and it didn't quite get the amount of hype that Bitcoin got when it crossed 30K, but there's a lot more people
Yeah,
paying attention to it now that
yeah,
it's already gone above 2100 before falling back below today. And
hmm
I think as long as it stays above 2K, it's going to have a layer of optimism from the crowd right now. All right, so for my section, there are a few things to cover in the past week or so. It's been obviously a good time for crypto. You can see it's been mainly green here among the top 100 market cap assets. Bitcoin up 3%, Ethereum up about 12%, and then you have a few huge performing assets like OKB, that's OKX's native token, up 25%, Arbitrum up another 37, Rocket Pool 29, and Radix up 59% among several nice performing assets. You can see a few drops, but really not too many. Hex down 7%, Quant 3, and Conflux Network down 8%. Uh, but for the most part, more and more optimism coming in, especially as we mentioned with Bitcoin being above 30K now. That did uh, flip the light switch for a few people and create some newfound optimism. There are a lot of profit takes, though, at the same time. And if we go to our mid month update that I just released yesterday, uh, we can go down to the mentions of stable coins right now. And you can see the social dominance of words like stables, stable coin, stable coins, and then we have USDT, USDC, USDP, BUSD, DAI, and TUSD, the top 6 stablecoins by market cap. The combined mentions of all of those made up almost 10% of discussions in my evening yesterday, so less than 24 hours ago from the time of this recording. Lots of discussion related to it, and typically that is a sign of people being interested in profit taking and figuring out which stablecoin to get into, uh, figuring out stablecoins in general for people who usually don't hold them. And if we look at this social dominance spike and compare it to the last time we saw a spike near this size, we go back to just about a month ago, mid-March, where there was this huge spike. And guess what happened right after that spike in stablecoin interest? We saw Bitcoin really rip up, and this was all assets, not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin went up about 14% in the following 3 days or so. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little uptick again here as a reaction to so many people showing interest in profit taking. Usually stablecoins aren't being talked about much unless people are moving into stables, with the exception of, some scandal going on for Tether or USD coin, which has happened in the past that people are talking about, but we aren't aware of any significant ones going on right now. Therefore, it is likely that people are doing some profit taking with 30K being breached last week. You can also see the whale transactions. Right now, they're staying pretty dormant for stablecoins. The last time we had a huge influx in them was right there in mid-March. So not only was the crowd talking about stablecoins, but whales were actually really moving them significantly. And if we were to see a big spike coming in sometime this week once again, it would be a very good sign that another leg up could be in order. So besides that, we can see that the overall mentions in crypto continue to decline throughout the past month. That's interesting considering obviously prices have gone up considerably, being down below 25K a month ago and now being above 30K. You would expect that more and more people are kind of coming back into crypto, but that's not really the case as of yet. It's mostly just been a continued slide in discussion rate. And I kind of view that as a positive sign. I think that with crypto kind of being under the radar, it can be good. The downside to it is something like this, where we see just a continued red bar coming in for the monthly price NVT comparison, which shows the amount of circulation happening on the BTC network versus price. And right now, there's just a notable lack of unique tokens moving around on the BTC network right now, which can hinder a long bull run. So yes, we see some good short-term signs potentially, but long-term, it's a concern to see that we are in our now 9th straight month of bearish divergence, even though we've been rising into it. They tend to be pretty volatile when we're lacking unique token circulation. So keep that in mind. The supply in exchanges is fluctuating up and down right now. Not a ton going on there. We obviously saw the inevitable uptick as BTC was breached 30K last week, but it wasn't a significant upswing, especially compared to 25K that happened in mid-March. And now it's starting to come back down. We like to see that the supply in exchanges is staying below 7%, as it's been for pretty much the past 4 to 5 months or so now. And finally, Bitcoin is, in terms of sharks and whales right now, continued slide going on. We did see a little bit of an uptick in some accumulation from April 11th to April 14th, but it is, at least for now, sliding back down a little bit. So we have to be a little concerned about that. As far as stable coins go, this red line is the most important of the stable coins because this is Tether, the #1 market cap stable coin in crypto. It's continuing to go up, which is very nice to see. Alongside Tether, USDC, this blue line, is continuing to recover after whales were dumping it big time here from mid-March down to mid-February to mid-March, I should say. Uh, so trust is coming back into USDC, the number 2 market cap stablecoin. BUSD is also starting to rise once again. DAI is rising once again. And the only two that are falling are the 5th and 6th largest market cap stablecoins. That would be TUSD and USDP. So overall, it's kind of a neutral sign at the moment that Bitcoin sharks and whales are continuing to drop little by little, but stablecoin accumulation is continuing. So if there are Bitcoin whales dropping out, as this chart indicates, they aren't going into fiat so much as they are moving into stable coins, meaning it's still the money is still in crypto. It's just kind of being moved into the sidelines for now and being saved for another day that they're planning to likely put back into Bitcoin or whatever other asset in the indefinite future. So those are my updates, Trevor. I think we're in an interesting spot right now. It's a mixed bag between people who are, bullish and ready for Bitcoin to go 30 to 35K and beyond, and also people who are really doubting the rally that we've been on throughout 2023. Have you seen anything on your side?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a mixed bag. It seems like at this point, there's just so many bulls, so many bears. You know, I'm not sure what to think myself, to be honest, right now.
Yeah, and it's always interesting when we're in a spot where it's so polarizing and no one, even the experts, really know what to think at the moment. Um,
Yeah.
I think you want to just hold on tight and remember whatever strategy you have been on for the majority of the year, don't don't abandon it and suddenly get emotional and decide that conditions are changing. Even with Trevor's updates about the job markets right now and the constant fears of inflation and interest rate hikes, it looks like those are at least
Banks.
calming down. Yeah, banks as well. Uh, April has at least been relatively calmer than most of
Yeah.
the year so far. So that's a good thing overall, I would say.
Yeah, it almost seems like things are getting better, but it's like almost every time you realize things are getting better, then the next thing happens.
Yep,
Dumb, right?
that's
So,
the excitement of crypto, right?
yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
So, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.